in your fight against Jamal Hill, another former champion in Baku, you had this flow to you, this ease. It, like I said, it gave me this flashback of like an Anderson Silva type of fight, very loose, very, very stretchy in motion. And then with this fight, it seemed like you came in with something a little bit more to prove, maybe more an edge. Your shoulders were up, your hands were fisted the whole time, you were tight. It seemed like you wanted blood from the get-go. You know, we saw you kind of do a little mock in the beginning of his walk. And then other than that, it was showtime the whole time. Did you feel that going into this fight, there was something you had to prove, or was there an edge, or what was it about you in this fight?
You know, what I can say to that, and I think I speak on behalf of every single fighter around the world on the roster, any other promotion, no matter what, we got to show up. We've signed that contract. You know, like hypothetically speaking, like I could have woken up that day and it just been a fucking bad day. You know what I mean? Like it's just, there are elements of life that sometimes like we can only do our best to control.
How'd your body feel that day?
Like I wanted to explode, really. You know, I felt good.
Rumors of you backstage at the fight. You know, I have a lot of friends that fight. I have a lot of friends that work at the UFC. And we have a lot of friends in general here, JAXXON Podcast and JAXXON the brand. And a lot of people were talking to me that you were extremely anxious backstage, or there was something about you like you wanted to kill someone.
I just had a lot of energy. I had a lot of energy, and it's hard to hold back energy when it's just built up and ready to come out, you know? Like, and there's no good or bad. It's not I had to go out of good energy or bad energy or anxious energy. I just had a lot of energy, and it can be hard to contain in a 12 by 12 locker room.
Yeah. Was there something you were able to do different in Baku compared to Vegas with controlling that energy?
I just didn't have the same energy in Baku. My energy in Baku was just different that day. You know, I woke up on fight day and, you know, everything did feel a little bit more like flowy and relaxed. I woke up on this day ready to go to war from the moment I opened my eyes. You know what I mean? And and do I know why? No, but I did everything I could to just literally make the best out of the day. You know, does that make sense? It's
I mean, unless you're a fighter too. Obviously I train with you guys and train with other people here. I'm not a fighter. I do it for fun and it's a passion of mine. That's why we have this podcast. But fighting is a completely different animal. Subconsciously, your mental is not something you can control. It's not like you can be positive when you want to be positive. There's this fear factor that just doesn't leave, you know, even when sparring in here. I can relate just a small fracture to what you're saying. There's not something you can control.
No, you can't really control it. And the thing is, and why I have a lot of respect for fighters regardless, just across the board, is no matter what we feel or we're going through, we show up and we give our effort in the cage. And like that alone says a lot, you know? Again, like I was saying, hypothetically speaking, like something could have happened to me that day. No one knows, you know what I mean? Someone in my family could have had a problem or blah, blah, blah. And like, as humans and as people who like possess feelings and stuff, like something could have happened to me that day. And I still have to show up and be in that locker room and walk out at 8:15 when they're telling me, hey, it's time to make that walk. And I've got to put everything else behind as much as I can. You get what I mean? Every thought, every emotion, everything. And I just have to be like, look, I'm here now and I'm going to do the best with what I have now. So, you know, I'm not saying anything specifically, but like that is something that I feel like should be a little bit more understood, is that like no matter what, man, as fighters, we have to show up and we got to do our job.